The greatest thrilling point for me is the job or the thing that I performed as a dad. And I think at a point when in 2006, when I lost my dad and the promise that I had given him, he is a very unique story कि मेरे डैडी ने कभी चाहा नहीं कि उनके बच्चे कभी संगीत में जाएं, सब अच्छे पढ़े लिखे नौकरी करें और आगे बढ़ें. और जब मेरे बच्चे बड़े हो रहे थे तो मेरे पिता ने मुझसे प्रॉमिस लिया था कि म्यूजिक में इनको सबसे अच्छी एजुकेशन देना. रियली वो शब्द थे उनके, संगीत इतना सिखाना कि वो सरदार मलिक की लेगेसी आगे लेके जाएं. ये उनकी विश थी और मैंने ईश्वर से प्रार्थना की कि ऐसा होना चाहिए. And rest, as you know, is history. They have carried the legacy beautifully. And my children are my greatest, what do you call, a dream come true. एक फादर को इससे ज़्यादा और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. मैंने अपने बड़े बेटे को बोला था 120 गाने सुपर हिट ब्लॉकबस्टर चाहिए, वो उसने कर दिए. 60 पिक्चरें सुपर हिट होनी चाहिए, वो सारी पिक्चरें भी हिट हो गई. तो मैं और अरमान को मैंने बोला था कि ऐसा गाना गाना यहाँ से लेके सारी दुनिया में कि हर इंसान बोले कि अरमान बहुत अच्छा गाता है. तो मैं जहाँ जाता हूँ मुझे यही सुनने को मिलता है, आपके बच्चों ने कमाल कर दिया. मतलब थैंक यू वेरी मच. द स्टोरी विच आई वांटेड टू शेयर विद माय किड्स इज दैट देयर हैज टू बी अ डॉक्यूमेंटेड memoir which takes the journey of my father when he was 15 years old till the time he became the music director, and then my journey from my age of 15 till I became a music director should be a story or a path which my children can always refer to. This happened with our families, including my brother Anu, who has done a tremendous job of taking the legacy forward, and they have a reference point. And I did not want to hide anything. I said, कब तक मैं टेबल पे खाने खाते खाते बोलता रहूँगा? कुछ बुक लिखनी चाहिए ताकि सारी जिंदगी के लिए उनके पास एक मार्ग हो और वो बुक उनके लिए डॉक्यूमेंटेड हो. एंड इट इज़ देयर. बेसिकली ये वो कहानियाँ हैं जो मेरे दिल और दिमाग के ऊपर थी. और ये जो मेरा पॉडकास्ट है ना, जैसे अभी ये अंग्रेजी में किताब लिखी है नेवर टू लेट, पॉडकास्ट जो मेरा वो पूरी हिंदी में है. एक एक शब्द हिंदी में, एक आध फ्लाइंग कुछ वर्ड्स होंगे जो इंग्लिश में होंगे. पूरा का पूरा मैंने पॉडकास्ट हिंदी में किया. बुक इज वेरी व्हाट यू कॉल इजी रीडेबल एंड लूसिड एंड सिंपल, बट पॉडकास्ट इज नॉट. पॉडकास्ट में काफ़ी हंगामे होने वाले हैं, इसलिए गो आउट ऑल द 7 episodes when they're going to be casted is going to create a lot of hangama, I'm sure, because वहाँ पर सच और साहस से कुछ ज़्यादा बोला है. I have shot only 7 episodes. I will wait for the response of how people take it, the way I've spoken, and after I know that I cannot be मतलब shouted at or create more controversy, as it is हमारी फैमिली की बहुत सारी controversy अमल ने create कर दिया. So उससे बचते बचाते निकले हैं. And yes, those are the two things which I feel what the book could not carry, which I was afraid, and I didn't want to mention it because not relevant, because I wanted to leave a positive impact on the person who's reading it, and not a crib story. उसने ऐसा किया, उसने ऐसा किया, उसने ऐसा किया. I didn't want to be that. But the podcast is little bolder. It is talking a lot more about my life and my journey and the episodes that went through and what I faced. See, if I look back at my life, I think the largest part of my life was spent just trying to see to it that I get through life. It was a difficult task for me because professionally, I do not think that I did anything great or I broke barriers and I became a success story, which I always tell that. This is not a book of success story, but some episodes of my life which can become a reference point for all musicians and all people across the world to learn a bit. कि कुछ भी हो जाए, कहीं भी, किसी भी पोजीशन पे, किसी भी उम्र पे हो, आपके लिए जिंदगी ये नहीं है कि आप हारोगे, आपको चलते जाना है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट नेवर टू लेट इज ऑल अबाउट. नेवर टू लूज होप. वॉक टुवर्ड्स योर ड्रीम्स. यू जस्ट डोंट नो हाउ फार आर यू फ्रॉम योर गोल. आर यू जस्ट 1 shot away or 10 shots away? But you are going to reach whatever point you manifest and whatever you want to achieve. I had one dream, and that was my sons should fulfill the dream of their Dada, Sri Sardar Malik, and I manifested it every single day, and of course with total support from my wife Jyoti, without which I would not even wearing this black shirt and black pant today. She has been a rock, and thank you for that. Thank you for being in my life. and my children have fulfilled this dream. It's like a closure for me. I have written Never Too Late as a story of my life, and it carries the pride that I have of my family. So I think I spend a lot of my time trying to even understand how Amaal, as a composer, can make "कौन तुझे यूं प्यार करेगा" and बोल दो ना जरा मैं रहूं ना रहूं. मैं इसको हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि जो तेरी मेलोडीज हैं, अगर इनको 6 पार्ट नोटेशंस में लिखा जाए और इसका अगर ऑर्केस्ट्राइजेशन किया जाए एज थीम्स, so I feel it's a legendary work. And as a composer, I am completely in awe of Armaan's singing, his texture and his voice. I'm a big fan of his and Amaal's compositions. Every single day, I just learn from them how to be a stickler for perfection. कोई भी काम कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करना है. मेरे को तो ऐसा लगता था सारी ज़िंदगी में हो जाएगा, कर लेंगे, कर लो कर लो कर लो कर लो. मेरे बच्चों ने कभी नहीं कोई भी काम, आई एम प्राउड टू से, कोई भी गाना, कोई भी क्रिएटिव एंडेवर के अंदर दिल लगा के, पूरी जान लगा के मेहनत करते हैं. एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट आई लर्न एवरी सिंगल डे फ्रॉम देम. एंड द पेशेंस व्हेन आई वाज फिनिशिंग दैट बुक, you know about it, has all become a reality because of Armaan Malik's dedication. This is a fact because of him. One thing he said, Dad, मैं आपको एक कॉमा और फुल स्टॉप की भी गलती करने नहीं दूंगा. He was at it and like a school teacher. 7 o'clock in the morning, what did you say yes to? He used to say, मैंने क्या हुआ? That is not the way to do. The design is going to change. You wait. So Shobha and Armaan, they took over. I finished my story. That's it. Amaal will play the role of Daboo Malik, and I will play the role of Sardar Malik, and Armaan will play Armaan Malik, and music will be Amaal Malik. And I think it could be, and only condition is please get us Mohit Sori to direct. This book, Never Too Late, as you see, I want to first say that there were a lot of stories which used to be part of my conversations with my family. From the age of 12, I have carried so many anecdotes and stories about what was told to me by my father, Shri Sardar Malik, and the incredible journey he had from the age of 15. It stayed with me. As children, Amaal and Armaan, when they're growing and they were becoming successful and they were making fantastic music for the industry, I felt that they need to know the story before it gets forgotten. I wanted to create a book, a very simple, easy reading book, which they could carry as a legacy of the Malik family. I was emotionally driven, but I really did not know whether I could write. I started with a simple one-pager. And when I was writing, I realized that do I read books extensively? And I realized no, I don't read books that much. But I do read inspirational chapters. And that's how Never Too Late, the book, is written. It's in the form of chapters. It's so easy to read that whenever you open the book, whether it's on page 199, 217, or the page number 10, there's a story on each page, and the chronology sets in. But what happens is that when you're reading it, in one chapter the story ends, and you can take from it, that chapter of my life, and I documented it in such a way that on the left-hand side there are pictures to prove that that moment happened. So it's not just written words, but they have a picture book presentation with evidence that so many things transpired in my life. The inspiration behind writing this book was basically to dedicate this book to my children, Amaal and Armaan, for them to have a good read, and that is where it started. And eventually it became, for me, a book which could inspire millions, and especially musicians. If these things, whatever stories happen in my life, can be of some help, of some kind of change it can bring into anybody's life at any corner of the world, I think I've written a good book. The story behind that picture so many people have asked me that why that picture. So well, that is the story which reminded me that once I wanted to be an actor. So this is a picture which had a dream in its eyes, which went onto the table of even director Subhash Ghai. And I did films like Tiranga and Bazigar, which became blockbuster hits. And eventually I reached here looking like an author. So big hand to Daboo Malik, please. So this picture was chosen because I think this is by far one of the best pictures ever of my life. And I wanted the book to have this as a cover. And also, I did not try to create any kind of criticism or try to target anybody in this book. And I've not ventured into that gray or dark area at all. Basically, it's an inspiring story of a man who fought against all odds. And 99 times of his efforts, he only failed. So this is not a success story. I'm not sharing a success story. This is a story of a man who tried against all odds. Whatever it took, he just kept on walking towards his goals. And that's all I want everybody to do, because that is the message of never too late. And there is nothing that should stop you. Not time, not age, not where you start from, nothing. You are not late for anything in the world at any stage of your life. You just go out there and do what your heart desires and fulfill your dreams. And the book ends at a note. I've got the last 15 chapters written in a way which is like a community MWM, which inspires millions and lakhs of people who are writing to me and texting me, who want to be part of MWM's legacy as musicians, singers, story writers, video directors, choreographers. And yes, with open arms, I'm welcoming them and showing them the right path. And that is how I wanted the book to end. So when you read this MWM chapter, which is the last 15 chapters, you will definitely feel that this is the note which I wanted to end the book on. I hope you like it and read it as soon as you have this book in your hand. Of course, you'll have to buy it from Title.